Hey there, there's still time. There is. I was actually going to title today's It's Not Too Late, but I felt that was negative, and I really wanted a positive tone. So today's title is There Is Still Time. And we are approaching the end of the third quarter of the calendar year if you're watching this in real time. If you're watching this later, this still applies. I don't care if it's January 1st or December 28th, 29th, 30th. And you may not set goals, and that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, we're going to talk about there's still time to accomplish your goals. We're almost 3/4 of the way through the year. And again, you may not set your goals in January to accomplish by December. You may set them every quarter. You may set them every month. You may set them a different month of the year, whatever it may be. But as I'm looking at right now where I am with my goals, I'm 75% through the calendar of where I need to be to achieve my goals. And there is still time. Now, some of the goals I had for the year, I've accomplished already. Some look very far out of my control to bring them in. But that's just appearances. It really is just appearances. And some of the ones I've accomplished, I haven't stopped working on because I think I can go farther. So time is relative. You can always reset. You can change dates, whatever you need to do to make things possible. But let's say you had a hard and fast rule that we're sitting here 3/4 of the way through the year, and at 100%, you got to be done and you've got to accomplish it. What are you going to do? Well, there's 4 steps. So the first step is, let's just take stock of where we are. Let's review the goals. Let's review all the information that's on the table and get a good in-depth review. That's important because sometimes we may not realize how much we've done. I review my goals pretty much on a quarterly basis. And I'm always shocked at, I didn't think I worked on that, but I did these 3 things. Well, yeah, I had thought about it. I looked at the beginning of the quarter. I set some things out to do, and I hadn't been thinking so much on the idea that I had a goal. I just knew there were things I was working toward. And when I stopped and kind of said, hey, where am I? I was further along than I thought. There are some other things that I saw, haven't started that yet. And that leads to a really, really interesting question. And step 2. So the first step is review our goals. 2 is, what matters most here? When I'm looking at the goals I've set before me, the accomplishments I've had, the accomplishments I haven't achieved, what matters? Out of all the goals left, let's say I've only got 25% of the year left. Can I accomplish everything in that 25%? Or do I need to prioritize? Do I need to pull something forward? Do I need to push something back? There may have been something that I thought was really important in January that today doesn't seem so important. And there may have been something that I didn't put on my goals, but today it's pretty big. And so I want to determine what matters to me at this moment in time in the context of finishing off the year right. And make sure that as I plan to finish off my goals at the end of the year, that I'm finishing off the right goals. It's okay to say, yeah, I set this goal in January, but it doesn't make sense now, or it's not as important to me now, or this other thing has become more important. As long as you're just not putting it off because you don't think you can do it, you don't feel like doing it, those are the ones where you really want to challenge yourself. If it's still important to you, give it everything you got. And so the next step is, how do we give it everything we got? We've got to set a plan. We've got 25% of the year left. We want to maximize that. How do we adjust our day? How do we figure out our ideal week to plan in the most important things we have? How do we get these goals done? By getting it in our calendar, getting it in our daily plan. How do we review that on a regular basis? So figure out how you're going to get it done and take that how and put it into your planning. Put it into your calendar. Get it committed with your time and energy. Not just an idea in your head, yeah, I'm going to do this. Oh, yeah, I'm committed. But allow time for it. Schedule time for it. Commit that time. You know, if you had a doctor's appointment, you would get there. If you know, if you had a date with your spouse or significant other, or whatever, you'd make sure you got there. How do you get to the goal? You've got to make the commitment to do the things it takes to get there. So that's step number 3. And then the fourth and final step here is don't give up. It's important to you, or you would not have prioritized it in step number 2. So if you prioritized it as important in step number 2, then step number 4 is don't give up on it. You see that through. And New Year's Eve, you're still clawing and scratching to get that thing done. You know, if you haven't gotten it done by New Year's Eve, there's still a couple hours left. Put the champagne and the confetti aside for a few minutes. Get it done. Don't give up. So, review your goals. Figure out what matters most. Set a plan to accomplish what's left. And don't give up. Hope this helps. Have a great, great, great day.